What's up? Welcome to the Tedeschi Trucks Podcast. This is episode number 45, and I am Adam Choit. To follow this show, it's at Tedeschi Trucks Podcast on Instagram, and I'm at Adam Choit on Instagram as well if you want to follow me. And of course, I have no affiliation with the band. This is not an official podcast for the band or anything. I am just a fan, and if you're listening, I'm guessing there's a good chance that you might be too. So please be sure to subscribe and give this show a positive review on iTunes. Doing those things is definitely helpful for sure. So, for today's episode, I'm going to recap the band's Fireside Sessions, the Fireside Sessions as they're calling them, episode 1. And I'm going to read straight from nugs.net, which is where you can watch these episodes. Let's see what it says here. Tedeschi Trucks Band is proud to present the Fireside Sessions, a 6-episode series of home performances to share TTB music with fans safely until we can get back on the road again. These sessions mark TTB's return to live performance after this unplanned break and feature a host of new songs in addition to a mix of favorites and deeper cuts from the back of the songbook. Although we were unable to get the entire band together for these sessions, the different configurations of musicians pulled together to create some unique and special performances for viewers. This past year has been a challenge for so many of us, and musicians and crew members are no exception. TTB is proud to support the members of our touring family for this long, but after almost a full year without touring, we've set up a way for you to help. If you're able to contribute to our crew beyond purchasing these shows, donations can be made at givebutter.com/TTB. That's givebutter.com/TTB. So that's what it says here on nugs.net. That's where you can purchase these episodes. There's a bunch of different options they have for packages, for individual episodes. They're going to be every week, Thursday, 6 episodes, I believe. They were filmed in Florida and Georgia, or Georgia. What should I say with the Long Island accent, or should I say it like the Southern California? I guess I still don't know if I'm a Florida guy or a Florida guy. But let me get back on track here. But this was a 4-piece for this episode. It was a 4-piece stripped down version of TTB with Susan, Tedeschi, Derek Trucks, Brandon Boone on bass, and Tyler, aka Falcon, Greenwell on drums and percussion. I had a pad and I was taking notes the whole time. I'll get into their vibe and my vibe going on over here a little bit too, but I had a pad and I took notes, and it's funny because it got me thinking about past guests, and even last week talking to Alina Harmash, and she was talking about how, when you're taking photographs and Jerome Brunet also mentioned this. They both talked about how when they're taking photographs, they kind of have to focus on what they're doing, which makes sense. So you can't fully immerse yourself in the music because you're kind of at work to some degree, even though you're trying to, I assume, become at one with the whole setting or something to that nature. But I kind of felt that too. I was like, I got to take notes during this. I can't fully, just let myself, go and relax. But it's all good, and I enjoyed this, and I think I got more out of it, in articulating some of my feelings and thoughts and whatnot that I jotted down here. So I'll kind of go through it. You'll probably hear me flipping through about 5-6 pages. It's not that much. I write big, and there's a lot of space. It's not. This won't be a long, too long of an episode. So let me see what I got here. I sort of expected. I guess I didn't know what to expect. For some reason, I thought it would be more like some interviews mixed in and more behind the scenes stuff. I don't know why I didn't. I assumed it was gonna be. I don't know why I didn't assume that it was going to be just mostly music and like a performance. They did call it the sessions, but that's perfectly fine with me. I had no problem with it being almost entirely music, like a set basically, which was great. But it begins with a beautiful drone shot of sort of the setting, which is always nice to have that sort of production value for for sure with these types of content. But they went right into pretty much right into Statesboro blues, and for 4 people, it's a pretty damn full sound. And just seeing the setting of like this sort of like studio living room area with the carpets and the amps and the paintings and the whole setting was just a good vibe. It looked great on camera. It conveyed probably the type of energy that they intended, and the look that they those are choices, and it worked. It definitely worked. Just the whole look of the whole space. I wanted to be there, and like that was almost my like immediate thought. Like, damn, what would it be like to actually be like sitting, in this space listening to these musicians? I wouldn't even talk. I'll keep my mouth shut. I'll whatever. Like, put me behind glass. Just let me let me be there. That'd be quite something. But I did notice immediately how much the band looked like they were having fun. And I say the band, I mean the 4 of them: Brandon, Falcon, Susan, and Derek. It looked like they were enjoying what they were doing for sure. And that's always cool to see. And the music is just great, and all the performances are great throughout. So I mean, I feel like I'm going to be repetitive and just saying that over and over again, complimenting the actual music itself and the musicianship and what they're doing, even if I'm saying so in a general way. Doesn't I can't say that enough. Like, that's what kind of this is all about. But I'll try to not be too repetitive at the same time. So they went into Simple Things, and I started to get a little emotional for sure, as if I wasn't during Statesboro Blues already. But the Susan ripping through the the guitar work, and her vocal is just it's just how do I even describe it? I miss it, and it's great to hear something. A new performance. Something about the new is special. It's all special, but it was awesome to experience this whole show, and I'm gonna repeat that a million times too. And this works for me because it's so many different because there's so many different lineups TTB can go through and combinations, and they all kind of work for me. So I always enjoy, and I've talked about how I always enjoy seeing TTB do different lineups and different combinations throughout their shows. Let's see what the next page here. What did I write here? Derek is still good. Yeah, that's good. I was good to be reminded of that. What did I write here? Just something about the slide solo on Simple Things. I wrote it down. I hear even a little bit of a Middle Eastern, style thrown in there, and that's always interesting to hear when Derek adds that element to his guitar work. Misunderstood was the next song. I wrote down funky, soul, and then I noticed that there were chairs to Susan's left, and I was like, oh, those look comfortable. That would be a good place for me to be parked. And then I started to just kind of think more about the lighting of the whole space, and the direction and the editing of this, and all the decisions, because there's a lot of decisions that go into this, I'm sure, in those in those elements, referring to those elements that I just mentioned. And everyone did a great job who worked on it. It's the behind the scenes people. It all came together, I'm sure. Like, I hope that they're all proud of what they were able to accomplish and put together with this, because it's fucking awesome. Like, the close-ups of Derek's hands and how long to stay on these things and when to cut to the other people. I appreciate the thought that goes into all those decisions and the work that goes into that. And I'm sure there was probably some agonizing or at least conversations and decisions that that need to be made as far as putting together a final product that everyone who's working on this likes and is on the same page with. But the music carries it, and the music is awesome, so it's hard to hard to lose and go wrong in that regard. And also they look great. Everybody just looks great. They, like I mentioned, that they look kind of happy and like they were having a good time on stage. But like physically, Susan and Derek, they look like they can, like, they're in good shape and they don't look like they're to be fucked with. Yeah, no, it's good to see that. I wrote down, not exactly sure when this was recorded, but I was told by Bobby Tees in the Facebook group afterwards that it was recorded a few weeks ago, which I guess I thought was, I think that's actually kind of recent. I wasn't sure. I figured maybe they had a bunch in the can, but maybe not. Maybe they're kind of still, I'm not sure if they're actually still recording these for future episodes. I would think so, because I'm guessing you got musicians and people flying and driving and traveling in and out of this 12-piece, the 12-piece circus, as they've described it before, this traveling circus. Let's see here. I wrote down the beard is in good shape as well. Derek's beard is in good shape. That's all I wrote. I don't really have anything else to say about that. His nasty solo, what I wrote here, what was it I wrote down here? You're hearing these pages. Yeah, this nasty solo on Misunderstood is on point. So is the beard, also on point. Even with just 4 people on the stage, they were able to bring it down real low and then ramp it up like they do, with the full cast up there. And then I wrote down here, dude, no one makes it sing like that. Stop it. Just listening to Derek Trucks, like, just do his thing on the guitar on Misunderstood. Just a great musicianship all around, for sure. Then they played It So Heavy. I wrote down Goosebumps. And then I just started to think more about the vibe of the whole set and how, I kind of had a good vibe going on over here. I had my little purple lights going, and I had the candle, the drink, and the pad, the pen, the shades, no glare on the screen, the speaker thing. So I was quite proud of myself and my setup. I was all ready to go, and as I will be every week. But we'll get more into that in a second. But yes, I wrote Susan's power is goosebumps, and then I wrote I like the flower painting. This sounds like stuff I would write down, just observations. And I wrote down Derek, having a drink or whatever, assuming that was some kind of adult beverage, is perfect. Fits the whole vibe, the chill vibe of this whole, not acoustic set, but stripped down version again of TTB. But and then Susan was sort of explaining a little bit of the background. She kind of talked to the camera and to the audience a little bit, explaining, how it's been hard times and wishing everyone out there well. It was nice, sweet of her to say like that. But was funny about it, not probably intended, was that I felt like she wasn't sure whether she should look to the camera or to like where the audience sort of would be, or maybe a few people were sitting in front of her during the recording, probably the producers or something like that. But Susan was good, talking directly to the camera at times, like they caught her, or maybe towards the end she was talking to the camera more. I thought that worked. I kind of liked that. She seemed like a natural, just kind of like speaking directly to us. Even if she was kind of just talking off the cuff and generally about why that the background behind That Did It, the song That Did It, and what that's all about. We'll get to that in a minute, but that was kind of interesting to see that for sure, like how they handled some of the parts where Susan was talking. But they went into Loving You Is Sweeter Than Ever next. And Susan's just strong. Like everything, I keep coming back to that word when I think about her voice and her guitar playing and physically on stage, and being a musician, a touring musician for so long, and the hard work of the road, and having a family, and being a mom, like all this stuff, like it must be, you got to be strong to do that stuff. But really, I think I just wrote down strong thinking about her voice right there. But anyway, what the hell did I write here? Yeah, it's interesting to hear some of these songs, in this different with this different lineup. And I was thinking, because you don't hear background vocals so much. I don't think there was really any background vocals. Maybe Tyler Falcon did a little bit of background vocals. I think I saw a mic by him, but yeah, it would have been something if Derek started doing the background vocals or doing some. I wasn't holding my breath for that. And then Susan was giving a little bit of background and history behind "The Sky Is Crying" and what that song means to her, and how she got connected to that particular song. And just listening to Derek play at the beginning of that song, there's just so much intention. That's another word that I was coming back to throughout this episode, and come back to, is like the intention of with which, especially Derek plays, and all of them, all these musicians, but especially Derek for sure. He means it. Like there's just there's just like a certain confidence and a certain ease that comes out of that guitar through the notes. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of professional guitar players. There's a lot of great guitar players, but like all the choices I think he makes are unique for sure, and the combinations of them. And listening to Susan's solo on "Sky Is Crying," it just made me think more and more about how much I miss live music, and not just like TTB shows in these theaters or whatever, and whatnot, but just like small shows at bars and smoke-filled rooms and blues shows and local bands and things like that. Just listening to Susan play her blues solo, and I guess what you would call more of a traditional type style, but all that imagery started to come to mind as she did her thing. And the two of them and TTB as a whole, they do blues, I think, better than anyone, or just as good. And I know it's not something to be better, meant to be better or whatnot then, but you know what I mean. I just mean it. I just mean that they're the best. That's what I'm saying. Don't drift away. Susan did it all. She kind of did the lead vocal and the background vocal, the oohs or whatever, the oohs and the ahs at the beginning there. It's kind of like Eddie Van Halen, right? Because he's got to do the rhythm guitar and the lead guitar, kind of mix and match that, put everything together, to make it work when Van Halen would play live. And she was kind of doing that with the vocal. I don't know why I thought of that, but I did. And when Derek's doing his amazing solos, you can't forget how awesome Brandon is behind him, and with everyone else, with the group on stage, and his contribution. Like, that dude is great too, and he's doing some cool stuff. Him and Derek have so much chemistry, and Falcon is great too. I mean, I can just keep going on and just repeat myself, but how much I love all these musicians and how great they are. Angel from Montgomery. What did I write here? Oh, I wrote here that there's more Derek here with just 4 people, because usually I think that's probably a bathroom break when he would leave, I think, when Susan kind of gets the spotlight on her, typically when they do this song live. So I thought that was a good thing. That's not a problem for me, having Derek have a little bit more guitar part at the beginning of Angel from Montgomery. And then I wrote down, I start thinking of Kofi. That's all I wrote. But that's all that needs to be said. I mean, I don't really have much else to say. Just like, that's just something that happens, I'm sure, for all of us when we're listening to TTB. I mean, besides whatever the else we're thinking about that's going on in our lives, or thinking about the band or whatever, the lyrics. But Kofi is, I'm sure, someone that just pops to mind randomly when you hear certain songs and certain parts of songs, maybe more so, more pronounced moments than others. But yeah. Let's see what else I got here. I wrote down that I am not the least bit disappointed by any of this. I'm busy for the next 5 Thursday night. Then they went into Sugaree, and that was great as well, of course. Then after that, that's when they went into That Did It. And Susan, that's when Susan was introducing the song and kind of talking more to the camera, which was fun. This was just it was just great, and I think the band and these four probably enjoyed playing a song that they haven't played probably as much lately, as Susan mentioned, because you could tell how much it felt fresh. There was a fresh feel to them doing That Did It. And listening to even some of Derek's guitar work, it was different than different versions that I remember listening to. Them doing this in like 2011, because I listened to all this stuff in all the archives. It hasn't been too long since I've heard a version of TTB doing That Did It. But yeah, I can tell the difference, and what they're bringing in 2021 is fresh, and just the little nuances. Even if I can't articulate them on a podcast, I can hear it with my ear and appreciate that. And when Susan's singing and going through the song, I could almost hear the crowd hooting and hollering and responding to what she's saying, and her powerful voice and the words and the lyrics and her guitar work and her solos as well. Let's see here. Flipping the page. And then we get to I Want More. And you can see how much fun Susan's having at the beginning there. And really throughout, you can see how much the people performing are enjoying it. At least that's how it came across. So for this song, Derek was actually playing a gold top Les Paul, and per Bobby T's and others in the Facebook Tedeschi Trucks Band fans Facebook group, it was not Dwayne Allman's guitar. It was Derek's personal 57 gold top, which also happens to be one serial number away from Dwayne's per Bobby. And on this song, Derek actually broke 3 strings, which Susan comments on at the end, which didn't seem to affect his performance at all, which was very passionate, very demonstrative, as they ripped through I Want More into the different parts of the song, including Soul Sacrifice, the awesome Santana groove. Yeah, I had more thoughts of Kofi again as they were getting to the part where the flute would be. And Brandon also had a great solo. Brandon Boone doing his thing on the bass. Let's see here. Yeah, Derek was in the zone on this song. That's what I wrote down here. And then I wrote down they all play with such intention. And that, I think, is pretty much all I got down here in my notes for the Fireside Sessions episode 1. I think that's pretty much my recap. I'm going to try to do these every week. I'm going to try to get some guests on to maybe do a recap with me and get some other people's thoughts and reactions. It's been very positive, just seeing some initial reaction from social media. We all miss the band. We all love the band. We all appreciate the new music, the new content, seeing them, hearing old music and old songs and in new ways. I think we're happy with it. Like, I'm not in the least bit disappointed. I'm super excited for the next 5 weeks or whatever however long this lasts. And that's pretty much it. I hope everyone is doing okay out there. For now, of course, go to TedeschiTrucksBand.com and nugs.net and purchase the Fireside Sessions. Again, there's a bunch of different purchasing options over there. I got the whole series. I'm ready to go. I also have another podcast. It's called People We Love, and what I do with that one is interview people from all walks of life, most often comedians and other artists and people in entertainment and creative types, about their lives and careers. It's casual conversation, but I also ask everyone to highlight someone they loved, someone who inspired them, who influenced them in their career, in their journey, in their personal life. It's been a lot of fun. So check that out. PeopleWeLovePodcast.com, at PeopleWeLovePodcast on Instagram, and I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Adam Choit. And please visit TedeschiTrucksBand.com, nugs.net for the Fireside Sessions, and GiveButter.com/TTB /TTB, GiveButter.com /TTB to support the crew. But I think that's about all I got for today. Thanks again for listening. I appreciate it as always. And let's talk soon. Later.